invite you to do more than just read a dictionary to learn about success. If you want to achieve your goals in life, listen to the tips, secrets, strategies, and habits of some of the world's most successful people and hear about the obstacles they had to overcome to attain their dreams. Start your own journey to success. Tune in to The Secrets of Success Wednesday afternoons at 4 and Sunday mornings at 7:30 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
We're back here on From the Press Box. I'm Rob Leonard. With me is my brother Tim. He's on Twitter at
Real Tim Leonard.
Check out his Twitter feed. And we have a phone call on right now. Kevin from Massapequa Park. We know the town. Kevin, welcome aboard.
Hey, how are you guys this morning? Happy Labor Day.
Happy
Labor Day, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. What was the comment you were telling me just before?
Yeah, you talk about Tom Seaver, being good in any era. They found an old photo of Walter Johnson pitching. It was taken from the third base side, and he had the same drop and drive stance that Seaver does. That the overhand just straight downhill, and so he always maintained that his pitching form is ideal, and maybe Harvey has to change to the old drop and drive going forward for his career to resuscitate his career.
Well, I agree. Something has to happen with Harvey. It seems like he, unless it's just a confidence thing, but it seems like his mechanics are a little off too. So it's not just the fact that he was once the king of the hill, so to speak, and now he's not. I think part of it has to do with his injuries.
I mean, I like I said on just before. I mean, Harvey. I don't know that he necessarily needs to relearn how to pitch, but he needs to make some adjustments. And I don't think he's ever going to get the velocity back that he had, because that's once you lose that kind of velocity, you don't get it back. That is generational kind of talent. But
a lot of guys pitched in the 80s and 90s not reaching 100.
Right.
You have to know how to pitch, not just throw.
Right, exactly, and that's why I think that when I said before, he needs to work out, he needs to build up his body, and like I said, it's not about getting muscular. It's about building up his legs. It's about building up his shoulders. It's about building up to prevent injuries more than anything. And that's when I say build up his body. That's what I'm talking about. Is more of an injury prevention thing as opposed to, hey, Matt Harvey needs to bulk up, because God knows he doesn't need to do that.
Right, and probably go to bed at a regular time instead of being seen everywhere.
Yeah, you don't need to be out in the clubs chasing around. What was the name? Adriana Lima or any other models or whatever. Stay out of the bars, stay out of the clubs, and there's always time for that.
Yeah, wasn't that the undoing of Hundley when he was here?
There were rumors about Todd and his late night carousing. I'll stop there and just say that there was
Todd Hundley.
Yeah, that he was a party guy.
Don't forget Paul LaDuca too, man.
Yeah, that's right. And all the things, and get to the Jets in the NFL.
Yeah.
The playoffs is now the New England Patriot tournament, which everyone has to see who's going to get on to.
Pretty much.
That's a good phrase. We like that. That's a good one.
Pretty much.
The Jets are going 0-17 this year. They're going to lose a college team
during the bye week.
Yeah, during the bye week they're going to get a loss.
During the bye week they're going to lose to Army.
No, because you know what's going to happen in typical Jet fashion. What's the second coming of Eli? Eli will show up, or if Peyton. The Jets will win 5 games and they'll lose out.
Well, that's why I've said that the Jets aren't going to sign or even going to entertain signing Colin Kaepernick, because I think Colin Kaepernick would give them a chance to win some games. And I think that's why when people say, well, Kaepernick's better than any three quarterbacks on the Jets roster. Yeah, he is, but that's not what the Jets' goal is this season. Their goal is to lose games. It's obvious that that's what their goal is.
Even their advertising about get tickets, get a weekly ticket where you don't know where you're going to sit. You might sit down in the lower area, might sit up in the upper area. It's all this crap.
But that same take, all right, let's say you bring Kaepernick in. You're not going to have a lot of fans going this year. Do you want even less fans showing up when Kaepernick comes on the field?
I don't know.
They were up in arms when Vic showed up. You think they're going to when Kaepernick showed up again?
But did the Jets lose attendance because of Vic?
I don't know.
No, they didn't. No,
they didn't. There's going to be a certain segment of people who are outraged. But you know what? And I don't want to get too into the Kaepernick thing. But if you actually read what he has said about this, and all these people who say, well, he's disrespecting the military and this and that, they haven't read what Kaepernick has said, because it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with trying to support African Americans in this country. It has nothing at all to do with disrespecting the military, because Kaepernick has military people around him, and he's said many times he has nothing but respect for those people.
Yeah, but I had heard that he either spit on the flag, urinated on the flag.
No, completely false. Completely false. I don't know. I don't even know where you heard that, but completely false.
Okay.
He has nothing against the country or the flag, but this is a way for him to protest, to bring attention to, let's face it, the African Americans in this country have a much higher chance of being murdered by police. It happens. And that's his way of protesting.
It's a whole other show, and we're not going to get into it right now.
No, it is a whole different.
It's a whole thing that
it would require a lot more time than we have.
Yeah, we only have an hour a week, so.
All right.
Well, thanks, Kev.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks, Kev. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.
Bye-bye. 516-572-7440. That's the number to call if you'd like to make a comment or a question about anything. Just quickly, the Knicks, you brought up something here which I didn't know about.
Which one?
Carmelo Anthony.
Yes. Not a part of the...
Not part of the
advertising
season ticket promotions.
Yes.
He's still on the team. They haven't traded him yet.
Not yet.
But they're not using him.
Yes, in the promotions, the promo that the Knicks put out recently for season tickets, they have Kristaps Porzingis, Frank Ntilikina, and Willie Hernan-Gomez in the promo.
Okay.
No
By the
Melo.
way, did I tell you my Derrick Rose story? When we had, I might have told you.
I don't know.
I'll tell you quickly.
Go ahead.
When we had lunch with our friend Bob Tuck a couple of weeks ago, on the way home, I went to, I'm at the Garden, so I go upstairs and I see they're having this like clearance sale. So
how much would a Derrick Rose jersey?
The Derrick Rose
$4.
jersey should have been like $4, but they were actually kind of expensive. And I went to this guy who was looking at some Derrick Rose thing. I go, shouldn't they be giving that stuff away by now? And he just laughed. And I have to say, they had a lot of Derrick Rose stuff that wasn't selling. Because
it's not going to sell.
But it was only like 50% off, so it should have been more.
It should be 90% off.
It should be like here have a free
I still
jersey.
wouldn't buy it because he was horrible for
I
the
wouldn't
Knicks.
buy it either. Anyway, quickly, Tim wants to talk soccer. We are a soccer-friendly show. We got 7 minutes, brother.
Soccer. All right. First of all, the United States the other night lost at home at Red Bull Arena to Costa Rica 2-0 in the World Cup qualifying match. My brother is making faces. This is the World Cup qualifying.
Aren't we going to automatically get in?
No, we're on the verge of not getting in.
This
is how bad things are.
We're the United States. We're supposed to get in.
The United States is now 2-3-2 in qualifying.
Okay.
We're having an embarrassing qualifying. All right? And to lose to Costa Rica at home. First of all, I couldn't believe how many Costa Ricans were in Red Bull Arena. It was embarrassing that American fans aren't showing up for this game. And it was almost like a road match. At least half the building was rooting for Costa Rica.
Of course.
That shouldn't happen. Home field advantage. Make something of it.
Costa Rica, come on.
I'm sorry. Then they shouldn't put the game at Red Bull Arena.
I agree.
Put it in Nebraska or something where Costa Ricans aren't going to show up.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
Well, the melting pot in New York. They have to go to Harrison, New Jersey, or they'll go to see it. They have to take the train.
Well, all I know is embarrassing loss. We have another game tomorrow night. We're playing at Honduras tomorrow. Honduras also is 2-3-2. We're in third place in the Hex right now, based on goal differential. All right, the top three teams get automatic berths into the World Cup. The team that finishes fourth, which right now is very possible, but the team that finishes fourth winds up having to play the fifth place team from Asia to get into the World Cup tournament. All right. Then after this, we have 2 games left after tomorrow's match. And fortunately for the United States, we'll be looking at Panama in Orlando on October 6th and Trinidad and Tobago, or is it Tobago? I don't know, whichever, on October 10th. Now, Panama is in 5th place and Trinidad and Tobago is in 6th. Now, Panama is going to be playing for their lives. So they're going to be as motivated as it gets because that game could possibly eliminate them depending on what happens tomorrow. So that's a dangerous match. And Florida, who knows what kind of crowd you're going to get down there. So there's nothing is certain yet. In fact, there's a lot of uncertainty for former Nassau Community College graduate Bruce Arena, the coach of the U.S. national team.
Okay. Now let's talk about Premier League.
The transfer window.
The Hotspur is
Tottenham Hotspur.
Have they done anything, brother, or are they going to be
Yes.
just this crappy team like typical?
No, what do you mean typical? They finished second place last year. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Get educated. Anyway, the transfer window closed on Thursday. I'm happy. I'm happy to say it means you can't acquire any more players until January. Everybody who's on their team is on their team.
Okay.
All right. I'm happy to say my Tottenham Hotspur pretty much dominated the last day.
Okay.
All right. First of all, Liverpool fans, I know you're a Liverpool guy, my brother. They will be happy to know that Philippe Coutinho is still on Liverpool and was not sold to Barcelona, even though there was a massive offer made for him. Arsenal supporters, the few of them who are left at this point, will be pleased that Alexis Sanchez is still on the team sheet, even though he said over the weekend that he may never play for the club again because he's upset that he was not sold to Manchester City during the window.
Okay.
Because he had personal terms all sorted out, which was going to include an $8 million sign-on fee, which is just like, here's a check for $8 million.
Right.
And his weekly salary was going to be somewhere around £300,000 a week.
Well, that's pretty good.
Which is ridiculous.
Sounds like Big Ed money.
Exactly. So then, but my Spurs, Daniel Levy, I have to say he's a genius. They got a defender from Paris Saint-Germain named Serge Aurier. And the problem with Serge is apparently he got into a little scuffle with a police officer back in Paris.
Can't do that.
Threw an elbow at him or something.
Can't do that.
So his work visa was not going to be approved. But the FA Home Office sorted that out. Serge was given the big thumbs up, and so he's in. £23 million for him. Supposed to be a good player. Like it. Then Tottenham signed a forward by the name of Fernando Llorente, who I think is the signing of the window. £15 million from Swansea. He gives Harry Kane. Finally, Harry Kane has a backup.
You mean that Harry Kane guy?
Yeah, whatever you want to call him. But finally, he has a backup. So if he gets hurt, or when he gets hurt, Tottenham has a real striker to put in for him. All right? So this guy is he's 32 years old. Usually Tottenham goes for the really young guys. This guy is 32. He was on Spain's World Cup winning side in 2008. He's won Serie A titles with Juventus in Italy. This is the guy who I want him to be a leader. And I want him to be the guy who shows Spurs the way. Hey, this is how you win trophies. This is what you need to do. This is what I've been crying for a guy like this for about 3 years now. We need one veteran who knows how to win, and this is the guy. So $15 million well spent.
You're happy about it.
I'm happy. I couldn't be more happy. When I heard that this guy was coming, I looked him up and I checked his record because I knew the guy because he's been an outstanding player for a decade at least. And I said, all right, this is a guy who has won. And Tottenham, as good as they are, they have more points than any team in the Premier League over the last 2 seasons. But they finished third 2 years ago. They finished second last year. They need somebody who is going to help them win trophies. Because that's been the only frustration from the fans and from the players as well, is we need to win stuff. We need to win silverware, as they say in England. And I really do think that he is going to be the guy that gets them there. So we'll see. We'll see going forward.
You're so excited right now.
I'm pumped up.
You're excited.
I am pumped up.
Anyway, brother, guess who's coming up next?
Big Ed?
Big Ed's coming up next.
It was just a guess because he's in the studio.
He's in the studio just hanging out, but he is actually on next. New hours for Big Ed, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Our new hours are 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You've been listening to From the Press Box right here at 90.3 FM WHPC, Garden City, New York. And we'll see you next week with more stuff. I'll see you Friday with Beatles songs. Take care.
The opinions expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC, its management, or Nassau Community College.
Responsible opposing viewpoints will be considered by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu or by mail to WHPC 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York 11530.
Thanks for listening.